right, hello traders. This is SageFT from the live trading desk. How are we? This is going to be the review and Rev-UP for January 26th, 2025. Let's dive right into it. If we go back to where we were before the market opened last week, what we were faced with is on both of the indexes, we were at a high to high trend line decision point. So what we were looking for was, did they give us clues that allow us to take the next trade, which was either long or short? So remember what we talked about last week, where it was going to go up through here, test the next one, or it wasn't. We have the order blocks drawn to see if we get any sort of resistance on the upside for not just the ES, but the NASDAQ as well. Now, the one thing that said, be careful on selling is very, very simple. I keep moving it. Sorry about that. Is the fact that we tested this breaker block, didn't close below the fair value gap. And then we started to remove the removal after the draw on liquidity in the proper location. So now we have the tailwind of it moving higher. So as we know, as the week played out, it worked perfectly. We took longs on pullbacks. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. Here's what it looks like. And then as it moves forward, what we're looking for is, where are the draws on liquidity? Where would it draw on liquidity? And so every time it was able to come back, the buyers stepped in right around the 20 SMA, the 8 EMA, and we got continuous buying all the way into the breaker block on the highs on the 4-hour chart. Let's go to the daily chart. Look at what it did here. We got into the order block on the all-time highs on the ES. Now let's move the NQ forward. Look at here. Testing inside the breaker block of all-time highs on the NQ on the daily chart. And so as it stops dead in its tracks, this moves us into the narration for what are we going to expect next week. Very simple. It's either going to come through the breaker block, order blocks, and test the high sides of them, come back in and test and then push, or it's going to just fail right here. They're going to find the buy side liquidity that they were looking for, and we're going to come back down into these high to high trend lines that would now become support. Now this one would be a much deeper pullback because we have a trend line like this on the ES that we can be watching unless it goes all the way down to this one, which would be quite a precipitous drop, but nonetheless it could happen. Now, what I want to point out, and this is really, really important, is I'm going to bring in next week's news. Let's dive right into this. Check this out. Buckle up, cowboys. It's going to be a hurry up and wait on Monday with just new home sales. Okay, 10 a.m. Tuesday, we got consumer confidence, so that's going to be something to watch. And then it's going to be a hurry up and wait for Wednesday at 2 p.m. and 2:30 p.m. when we get the FOMC announcement. At 2:30 p.m. on Wednesday, January 29th, we're going to get the FOMC press conference, which is going to light this thing on fire. So now, but wait, there's more. Okay, on Thursday, advanced GDP, 8:30 a.m. Oh, but wait, there's more. Friday, PCE, 8:30 a.m. Okay, now, okay, sweet. Then next week, you're getting peppered with some ISM, manufacturing PMI, and then Friday is non-farm payrolls. So over the next 2 weeks, what does that mean for the charts? I'm so glad you asked. Thanks for asking. What it means is we need to make sure that we are locked in to the edges of the moves, whatever it's going to do. Here's the deal. It can be up here by the time the announcements come out. It can be down here when the announcements come out. It can wait and do nothing until the announcements come out, and then it can be up here or down here, or it can just print sideways, which would trap the most amount of players. I will be watching the NQ for a barometer as to whether it can make it through this order block or not. The same thing applies for the ES, but what we need to make sure we understand is there are some very, very large tech companies that are lagging in this space. Let me show you. Okay, Microsoft. Okay, here's a major one. This is major. Absolutely major, folks. Apple is down so far, it's becoming value. So this is the headwinds. Now I want to show you something absolutely crazy that we were paying attention to in the live trading desk on YouTube. Let's bring it in. Watch this. If you just hit the space bar on Trading View, it will just go right to the S&P 500 index, right? Now look at this. I have the line drawn for the prior all-time high. I'm gonna bring it in. Okay, we are at the all-time high. Now let's go to the SPY. Same thing. We're at the all-time high. Did they find buy-side liquidity? Okay, as we're in this absolutely most beautiful, spectacular position one re-entry, or are the buyers in control of this whole thing? It's tough. Now, so here's my opinion. We don't need to open a new long on a wider time frame. I'm not going to be buying a bunch of stock down here. I might nibble on that apple. That apple, for me personally, might be cheap enough. I might nibble on it. I got 20 years till I need the money that I'm going to nibble on it with. On the other hand, what if Apple catches a freaking bid while this market is sitting right here? I want you to think about both sides of that. All right, fam, the last thing that I want to talk about is a lot of us are trading micros in our eval accounts, or we're having this pressure of trading the minis in a $50,000 account. Okay, so what I want you to do, and I want you to think about this, I want you to think about, okay, how do I really retain and control the costs of my trading? If I want to do the micros, man, it's so expensive to click the mouse. Well, if you take a look at Take Profit Trader, use the promo code SageFT, you'll see that their micros commissions are extremely low in relation to the other prop firms, right? So I'm going to highlight this feature about the commissions on the micros at Take Profit Trader. What we'll do is we'll put a link directly down below in the comments or in the description section, depending on which platform you're watching this on. This is going to be a monumental week for the live trading desk. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. live on YouTube, trading the S&P 500 E-mini and micro contracts. We'll see everybody there. This is Rev and Wood. I go by SageFT. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. live. Thanks.